Well, hello everyone. I'm Camellia, as Stephanie introduced, and I'm the lead writer at Vizzuality. I manage our communications activities, and my favourite part of my job is writing blogs about the work that we do and the issues that the tools we make deal with. Oh, I'm skipping too many. Sorry. Okay, so Vizzuality is a digital design and technology agency, and we focus on what we consider to be the three biggest issues of our time: climate change, biodiversity loss, and inequality, as well as all the links that bind those three issues together. We do this by translating data into beautiful digital products and purposeful strategies. And our approach is informed by science, inspired by nature, and delivered with impact. Today, I'll be giving you an overview of Vizzuality's approach to data-driven storytelling, and I'll share some examples of the work we do. For 5 years now, we've been working with the World Resources Institute to deliver Global Forest Watch. Through an interactive map, country dashboards, and analysis tools, anyone can monitor forest loss around the world. There's a lot of data to show, hundreds of data sets covering 17 years. So our design and engineering teams work closely together with our scientists and user researchers to balance the different needs of our users. Some need fast delivery of contextual insights, whilst others want to explore the data more deeply. The technology we use includes Node.js, React, Redux, Mapbox.gl, WebGL, D3.js, Python, Google App Engine, Ruby on Rails, Kato, and Google Earth Engine, all alongside a RESTful API to support the data storage and fetching. But every one of our projects is different. Opening up forest loss data in a way that helps people share their own stories is having a real-world impact. For example, in 2015, Mongabay exposed the activities of a cocoa producer called United Cacao, who were illegally cutting down tropical forests and ignoring orders from the Peruvian government to cease their operations. Weekly alerts sourced from satellite imagery documented United Cacao's ongoing deforestation activities, and yet, despite the evidence being visible in bright pink, as you see here, to anyone who visited the Global Forest Watch website, the company continued to deny any kind of wrongdoing. Subsequently, an official complaint was made to the London Stock Exchange alternative investment market on which United Cacao was listed. This complaint, supported by evidence from satellite imagery, led to a series of events that culminated in the business ending its operations in 2017. More recently, I've used Global Forest Watch maps to write about illegal deforestation in Brazil. The Amazon is home to a number of uncontacted indigenous peoples. To protect these groups, Brazil has set aside areas for their exclusive use. Non-indigenous people are not allowed to enter these areas. However, last year, when Bolsonaro became the front runner in Brazil's presidential elections, an illegal land grab began as they anticipated the relaxation of environmental protections. The 4 images you can see here at the moment are a time-lapse of just one location. Untitled Reserve is one of those areas set aside for the exclusive use of uncontacted indigenous peoples. And the blue lines you see here on this map are boundaries of that area. Until April 2018, there was no forest loss, and the area was protected, and the area was respected. But watch as the pink pixels spread across the screen. Non-indigenous people are entering the area, carving out roads and cutting down trees. The indigenous people here, living here in the Untitled communication with the outside world, so they can't tell us our story, but we can help raise awareness on their behalf. I use a program called LiceCap to record GIFs like the one I just shown you. But Global Forest Watch also provides a share button that makes it really easy for you to share what you find, and use it in your own storytelling. There are 2 options. One is a bit.ly link, which you can just copy and share on social media, or there's also an embed code, which can embed a map onto your own web page or blog. This is really cool because it means people can interact with the embed, zoom in and out, and move around the map without leaving the page that they're already on. And being able to put your data in places where people already spend their time online is really important, and something to keep in mind if you're creating your own data-driven stories. Next up, we've got Global Fishing Watch, which is another example of data visualization, which has helped spark real-world concepts. Last year, Argentina created 2 brand new marine protected areas. And a video of the Global Fishing Watch map helped make that happen. The creation of these MPAs was strongly opposed by Argentina's fishing industry. They claimed that a fishing ban inside the area would cause thousands of job losses and harm the already vulnerable economy. And the supporters of the MPAs needed to show that this wouldn't happen. So, Tompkins Conservation, the group leading the campaign, approached scientists at Global Fishing Watch to see what the data says. Together, they calculated that the fishing activity within the two proposed MPAs accounted for less than 1% of Argentina's total yearly fishing effort. And the fishing effort could be relocated without any job losses. A video of this fishing activity was shown to key government stakeholders in meetings, and it convinced the government to introduce a bill into Congress that would legally establish the MPAs. And this image here is a screenshot of that video. Now I've shared a few examples of our work. I'd like to briefly explain what our approach is to the creation of platforms such as Global Forest Watch and Global Fishing Watch. Essentially, our approach is centered around people. We bring together a diverse set of skills across all stages of the project development cycle. We have people with backgrounds in anthropology, archaeology, architecture, climate science, marine ecology, maths and psychology, and a whole host of other skills. And we combine our collective experience and talents to analyze and understand both the data and the needs of people who want to use them, choosing the right technology for the job and creating tools that spark curiosity and joy. We also work with partners that share our values and whose experiences and expertise are different yet complementary to ours. The choice of your partners is something that's been brought up in the other presentations too, and I agree this is a really important consideration. Our approach is we use an Agile, user-centered methodology for developing our platforms and tools. This means building small pieces of functionality incrementally and then seeking and adapting to feedback throughout the project from both the partners and the target users. The regular and consistent flow of communication and feedback is essential to any project success. By understanding what people need and why, and which tools they are already familiar with, you can create something that is useful, usable, and likely to be used. In our experience, this flexible approach helps us build the best possible products with a clear link between the use and the real-world impact that we intend to have. So, going into a little more detail about how a project might develop, we kick off with a discovery phase, and this is split into 4 activities. There's the user discovery, where we profile the target audience and understand what they want and what they need. The data discovery, where we look at the structure, the completeness, the type and format of data being asked to visualize. At this point, our scientists will also have a look to see what other data is available and see if there's a way to add more context to the data set that we are currently reviewing. We'll also do a technology discovery. So based on what we learn from the users and what we learn from the data, we will select the most appropriate technology for the project. Where we can, we opt for open source technology and we'll publish our code in GitHub so that others can learn from it and use it. And finally, there's the design discovery, where the design team get together with the scientists, the developers, and the user researchers to investigate and test potential design options. We always like to say that the data should lead the design to make sure that it's being presented accurately and in a way that people will understand. Using all this information that we've gathered, we'll produce some wireframes, which are sketches of the platform. Our designers used InVision to create these wireframes, if you'd like to know that. And if they're approved, we'll move into the development phase. Throughout the project, we'll maintain open channels of communication with our partners, and we'll adjust the designs and build as we receive feedback from them. Before launching anything, we'll also do another round of user testing to make sure that the product meets the user's needs and expectations. And this also helps us find any bugs that might be lurking. And if you are interested in being one of our testers, feel free to get in touch. We're always keen to have people testing out our tools. But what's next? Technology is evolving rapidly, and there's growing interest in creative data-driven storytelling. So a few of the things that we're doing. We're currently undertaking some research into the psychology of data visualization to determine how and if a data visualization can actually change someone's behavior. And if it can, how do we make sure that happens? Our human-computer interaction designer, Dr. Melanie Herman, has recently completed a series of lab tests at Cambridge University and is analyzing her results. She'll be sharing her research in her blogs and more publicly in the future. And we also plan to apply it to the platforms that we're working on. We're also exploring what we can do with 3D globes, as we think they're a great way to engage people more deeply with the data. In particular, we're trying to find ways to create a personal connection with global data sets. This map here is from halfearthproject.org. It's an initiative led by E.O. Wilson Foundation that aims to map the geospatial location and distribution of our planet species at a high enough resolution to drive decision-making about where we have the best opportunity to protect the most species. I'd love for you to stay tuned for more news on this project in the coming months. There's some really cool stuff happening with this map that I can't show you yet, but I'm really excited about it. And so as soon as I can, I'll be sharing that with you. And that's my presentation. I'm looking forward to answering your questions. And if beyond the questions, you can also find more information at Vizzuality.com, on our blog at Medium, where we write about our research on our processes and our tools, or say hi on Twitter at Vizzuality.